G'day, and welcome back to Maintenance Break, bite-sized lessons, one break at a time. I'm Pete, and as always, sitting across from me is Drew.
G'day Pete, great to be here. Now, today we're tackling a topic that is often misunderstood, the Asset Management Plan, or the AMP.
You're not wrong. Mention an AMP, and most people immediately point you to the CMMS maintenance strategy, or the life cycle cost model supplied by the OEM.
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into what an asset management plan actually is, because when it's done right, it's the ultimate operational handshake between ops and maintenance.
Spot on. At its core, an asset management plan does one simple thing. It brings together three core elements to gain total alignment on how an asset is going to be operated and maintained. We're talking about the operating context, the maintenance strategy, and the scheduled downtime strategy.
And why do we bring them together? To manage the PCR triad. If ops and maintenance aren't aligned, your performance plummets, your costs blow out, and your operational risk goes through the roof.
Exactly. And the golden rule, before we even break these down, this thing should be treated as a live document. If your operating context changes or your asset configuration changes, the plan must change. If it doesn't, you're not operating efficiently.
Let's hit that first element, Pete, the operating context. I reckon this is where most sites trip up. They buy a piece of heavy gear, say a haul truck, and they treat it like an isolated machine that just requires the maintenance strategy the OEM provided. They forget to capture the real-world conditions it's going to face.
Correct, Drew. The operating context is the absolute foundation. It captures the key considerations you must know before you even think about a maintenance strategy. First up is the asset configuration. What is the base machine and what options did you slap on it? You can't maintain an option you haven't documented.
And then you've got the forecast operational conditions. For example, are you running this asset in the freezing oil sands in Canada or the 50-degree dust of the Pilbara? Day shift only or 24/7? These factors impact your required maintenance strategy. If leadership expects an excavator to smash out 7,000 operating hours a year to hit performance targets, that needs to be considered in how the machine is maintained.
It really does. Because you also have to define the operating limits. What are the red lines the operators cannot cross? If you push past those limits to chase short-term production, you're just shifting cost into catastrophic failures later. And finally, you need a clear target life. Are we keeping this asset for 5 years or 15? Because how you maintain a machine changes drastically based on its retirement date.
Spot on. So once you've defined that operating context, how hard we're running it, where we're running it, and for how long, only then can you build the second element, the maintenance strategy.
And this is my backyard, Drew. The maintenance strategy captures every single maintenance requirement for the asset. But we don't just throw them into a giant list. We typically group them into 5 distinct categories so we can actually manage them.
Let's walk through them, Pete. What's number one?
Number 1 is statutory. This is non-negotiable, mate. Your pressure vessel inspections, your braking systems, your fire suppression checks. This manages your legal and safety risk. You miss these and the regulators will shut your site down faster than you can blink.
Absolutely. Number 2 is routine servicing, your bread and butter oil changes, filter swaps, and greasing schedules. Number 3 is structural integrity. Cracks don't sleep, mate. You need non-destructive testing on chassis frames and boom mounts before heavy metal meets gravity.
Then you've got number 4, condition monitoring. This is your oil analysis, your vibration tracking, your thermography, and onboard data. The goal here is simple: detect the defect before it becomes a functional failure. And finally, number 5, component replacement. When does the engine, the lift cylinders, or the final drive get swapped out?
Now, here's a massive tip for everyone listening. This maintenance strategy must include requirements that are completely omitted from the OEM manual or the standard lifecycle cost model. The original equipment manufacturer builds a generic model. They don't know your operators are overloading the trays or that your wash bay water is highly corrosive. Your strategy has to reflect your reality.
Exactly. OEM strategies are a great starting point, but not the final maintenance strategy. So now we've got the context, how we use it, and the strategy, how we fix it. You now need the third element, the scheduled downtime strategy, to bring it all together.
This is where the rubber really hits the road, Pete. The scheduled downtime strategy integrates the operational context and the maintenance strategy to develop a scheduled downtime forecast that is directly aligned with the mine plan.
This is the ultimate handshake, Drew. Operations wants the asset running 24/7 to hit performance numbers. Maintenance needs the asset stopped to execute the strategy and control risk. If you don't build a downtime strategy together, chaos rules.
Too right. The downtime strategy looks at the mine plan and says, right, we have a major scheduled shutdown coming in Q3 when production demand is slightly lower. That is exactly when we will execute the component replacements. It stops maintenance from being a surprise. It turns downtime into a predictable, budgeted business activity.
Beautifully put. When you pull those three pieces together, context, strategy, and downtime, you have a real asset management plan. It balances the triad. It stops ops from running the machine into the ground, and it stops maintenance from over-maintaining and blowing the budget.
All right, Pete, we've laid down the law on the three elements. Let's wrap this up with the Jeb's break tip.
Love it. Here's the Jeb's break tip. Tomorrow morning, I want you to pick one critical asset class on your site that's been giving you grief. Don't look at the CMMS yet. Pull up its asset management plan, or whatever strategy document you have, and test it against the three elements.
Ask yourself, is the operating context actually accurate to how the guys are running it in the pit right now? Does the maintenance strategy capture your specific environmental failure modes, or is it just a copied OEM manual? And finally, is your scheduled downtime strategy actually locked into the current mine plan, or are you still begging ops for machine time every Tuesday?
If any of those links are broken, you don't have a plan, you have a placeholder. Gather the team, fix the gap, and get everyone pulling in the same direction.
Simple, practical, and bloody effective.
That's us for today. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with a mate. Until next time, take care.
And keep those assets running.